Hello, my children, and happy Halloween. It is good to see each and every one of you jumping into the chat. We got some news coming out. Let me do my spirit fingers. Breaking news, breaking news. Stacey Wondra has waived his right to extradition. Okay? Waived his rights. We're going to talk about that tonight. But first, I'm going to need you to leave your DNA and your fingerprints all over that like button down here. Because if you don't, I'm coming into your dreams tonight and slashing and slash. Y'all don't need that. Y'all don't need that kind of smoke. So just like the video. And if you're brand new and you out there watching and you ain't subbed up to this channel, I don't know what you're waiting for. Okay. Same thing goes for you guys out there that haven't subbed up. I'm coming for you one at a time. I'm gonna be knocking at your door. And Dolly's coming for you. 1, 2, Dolly's coming for you. All right. Yes, and I'm talking to you, pointing at you with my good claw, So basically, we're going to be going over the Stacey Wondra stuff with Michael Monkey Vaughan. I want to start this with saying, rest in peace to Michael Monkey Vaughan. Beautiful little boy. We still have his picture on the board. And prayers to his family, Brandy, Tyler, his brothers, and his sisters. I know this is a hard time for them. And, but it had to happen. So really today is a good day. It just comes with that sad feeling of we knowing that Michael Monkey Vaughan will never come home alive. Hopefully, though, we can get him home so he can have the proper burial that he deserves. These monsters should tell us where this little boy is at. Just like Jake and Rebecca Harrow in the case of Emmanuel Harrow, a missing child that we don't know where this child is at. I believe everybody deserves a proper burial. Before we go into talking about people that haven't been convicted yet, I want to give my warnings. Dolly Vision is for entertainment purposes only. We talk news, rumors, gossip, speculations, theories, mixed with a little comedy and a whole lot of chaos. So don't take nothing as fact, people. It's just my opinion. The callers tonight, their opinions are theirs and theirs alone, not to reflect on the Dolly. Yes, we will take calls later tonight. I know it's late night, but we're here. We're here, okay? I had things to do today, family stuff to do. So, but I know it's late, but thank you for hanging out and staying up late to join me tonight. So, everyone is innocent to proven guilty, even this fat ass tub of lard that we know as Stacey, okay, that's now been arrested and charged with the murder of Michael Vaughan. He is innocent to proven guilty. Now, he ain't innocent of being a tub of lard. He's definitely a big old tubby, okay? He's definitely a big old tubby. But everything else, he's innocent and proven guilty. And the biggest one of them all is don't try to be Dolly Kruger at home. You can poke your damn eyeball out with one of these claws. And you don't need that in your life. You don't need that in your life, okay? So let me take this Freddy glove off real quick so I don't poke myself in the eye. And let's jump right into this. So, we got the news yesterday that Stacey was being released from federal custody from former charges he had. He was in custody for charges of possession of a firearm, which was a federal charge, which landed him in a federal facility. I believe he's in Arizona. I believe. I'm not 100% positive. Don't quote me on that, but I believe he's being housed in a federal facility in Arizona, and he went to be released, and they charged him with the death of Michael Monkey Vaughan. Damn, I can't even talk tonight, right? So he waived his right to extradition. Now, a lot of people are asking me, Dolly, what does that mean? Okay. That means he doesn't have to go to court in Arizona to see if they will send him back. He's basically agreed to go back to Fruitland, Idaho. Did you look? Yes, Tiffany. Bad news. I didn't see the box in the back. I did a brief check, but I'm going to look better tomorrow. But I looked tonight and I didn't see nothing in a box right off the bat. Now, there was some stuff that that I need to move around in the truck, but it was dark outside, so I really couldn't see. But I don't think it's in the truck. Okay. But that just leaves it open for a Christmas present for you this year. Okay. So let me get back to what I was getting on to before I forget what I was going to say. So basically, he agreed to go back to Fruitland, Idaho. Okay. Now they have 30 days to pick him up, right? And he has no bond. Now, if he would have stayed in Arizona, they would have gave him a court date of November 17th. He would have went to court on the 17th, and he would have been held on a $1 million bond. I will check in a little bit more as soon as the daylight comes up, but don't worry. If not, I'll loan you my PlayStation 5. Okay. Until you get your own. So don't worry. It's okay, baby girl. It's okay. We got you. We got you. I haven't been playing my PlayStation 5 anyway. So he would have went to court November 17th. He would have been held on a $1 million bond. Now, if somebody would have came up with the $1 million, of course, he could have got out. But of course, nobody's going to spend $1 million on this guy. Trust me. And as a bondsman, would you bond him out? You know, you're talking about $100,000 somebody would have to come up with, 10% of $1 million. So he ain't getting out. So he's being held now with no bond in Arizona for 30 days. Guys, I think my PlayStation, all my games got thrown away in my move. That is horrible, Tiffany. That is so bad. I feel so bad for you because when I looked the other night, I didn't think I seen nothing. And I looked again tonight, but it was dark out when I got home. So I wasn't able to really, but I don't think it's in there, you know. So we'll make sure you get my PlayStation 5 and all that good stuff. So you'll be fine. You'll have something to play. So, like I was saying, Idaho has 30 days to pick him up, and of course, Idaho's coming to get him. So most likely they'll charter a private plane because they used in the day when they would fly you back, they would fly you back on commercial airlines. They would put handcuffs on you and they would put something over them. Just like if you ever seen an inmate come to a funeral, right? Like a lot of times you're in prison and your family dies. If you pay for the transport, they'll let the person out of prison for that day to come to the funeral, right? And then they'll stand at the funeral, usually with a suit jacket or something over their hands, but they're handcuffed and a guard is with them. So you have to, the family has to pay for those guards and the transportation, and they'll bring you to a funeral. They used to do a lot of that on commercial airlines where they would put you in the back of the plane, have a U.S. Marshal fly with you from like Arizona to Idaho, right? So, but most likely these days they ain't been doing a lot of that anymore. They're usually doing private planes. So, and when it's a murder of this caliber, like high profile, which Michael Monkey Vaughn has been a really high profile case, they'll rent a private plane. The detectives from Fruitland, Idaho, that work this case will fly down to Arizona, probably, I would say within a week or two, and pick him up, fly him back, officially charge him, arraign him, and then, of course, he'll stand trial for the murder, second-degree kidnapping of Michael Monkey Vaughn. Okay, because we know who's getting first-degree kidnapping. That is Brandon Shirtliff. He is in a world of trouble. And at this point, you got to know he knows it's coming. The scary thing is, will this man run? Right? Will he run? Because we know on the CCTV that they captured Brandon on video and not Stacey Wondra. Okay. Of course, Sarah, his wife, is also being charged. She's already got word in the jail that she's going to be charged because she's in custody also on unrelated charges. So at this point, the only person that's in jail, and he hasn't been officially even charged yet, is Stacey. He'll be officially charged when there's warrants for him for these. But once these warrants are served, because they haven't been served yet, because he's in Arizona, and where is Brandon? Last I heard, Brandy was somewhere in Nebraska or somewhere, which is scary to me because I believe he is the one that kidnapped him. And I always was telling Brandon, you know, you need to talk now. You need to talk now because Stacey and Sarah, when they get caught, they're going to throw you under the bus because Sarah and Stacey still have communications. Well, they did all the way up until I think Stacey went to jail. And of course, they're married and been around each other a lot longer. They're going to try to blame this on Brandon. I can see it coming already, right? Just think about it. If you're involved in a crime, you're not caught on camera, but that guy is. You're going to point the finger at that guy. Barbara, thank you for becoming a new member. That is a great way to support the channel and our efforts of, you know, bringing you guys all this information and fighting for justice for the people that really need it, you know, and for the families that need that. So Brandon, he is the next one. It's coming, right? Everybody knows it's coming. I believe he knows it's coming. I'm sure Sarah and Stacey both know it's coming. But even though Sarah is in jail, she hasn't been hit with the charges yet. She knows they're coming, right? But they haven't hit her officially with the charges yet. Now, of course, when Stacey was released from federal custody because he served his time in federal custody, they held him. Angela says, thank you for bringing this to us tonight. Such a bittersweet moment. Yes. I'm a little bit more happier about it today, right, than I was yesterday. I was kind of sad about it. You know, it was just like, because I knew it was like, it's really the worst news you can get is when somebody's charged with the murder, because then you know the kid's not missing, right? You know the child's murdered, and they've been saying he's been deceased for a long time, and I'm sure it took a long time for Brandy to accept everything that's going on, but you always hold that little tiny bit of hope, right? Yeah, I was sad at first. Yeah, I mean, that's just the way it makes you feel because you know this little man, and he's a beautiful little boy. He's never coming back to us, right? Hold on, my producer just came in.
Their divorce is almost final.
Their divorce is almost final, but it's not yet.
I know.
So they're still technically married. They're closer than they are with Brandon. So you know they're going to throw Brandon under the bus. They're going to try. They're going to have some escape door, right? They're going to have somebody to try to pin this on. And that's why I always told Brandon when I made the videos to go ahead and talk now, because if you don't, they're going to blame you for it. Now, if I was Brandon, and I know Brandon's paying attention to all these videos, if it was you guys, wouldn't you be paying attention to what's going on? So you know absolutely he's paying attention. Let me tell you, Brandon, just because I'm Freddy Krueger up here, this ain't no nightmare. This is real life. Hold on.
Did you get this that I sent you? It's the actual Payette County prosecutor's notice, because that explains a lot of it.
Do you want to read it?
I can.
Okay, PJ's going to read you this letter from the Payette prosecutor. Is that how you say town? Payette?
I always just said Payette. I don't
Payette. Okay, however you say it. This is from the prosecutors.
Michael Vaughn case update. My office is moving forward with charges against the individuals involved in the disappearance of the murder of 5-year-old Michael Vaughn, which occurred in the summer of 2021. After a robust investigation by the Fruitland Police Department and countless assisting agencies, we have unfortunately been unable to locate Michael to recover his remains. Our foremost hope has always been to recover Michael, but delays now risk further harm to his loved ones. We believe we know the individuals involved and are committed to pursuing justice with or without Michael's recovery. The charges are only possible as a result of Fruitland's unyielding tenacity and perseverance. They have not ceased to work the case since the crime occurred, and they are continuing to search and investigate so they can bring Michael's body home. As Chief Hull's previous stated, it would be foolish to believe Fruitland PD will ever stop in the pursuit of recovering one of their most cherished members of our community, a child. I would remind the public that anyone accused of a crime by my office is entitled to the presumption of innocence, and it is in this office duty to prove that they are guilty beyond a reasonable doubt in the court of law. I would also ask the public and media to be sensitive to how difficult a case like this is to the surviving family members and neighbors, and ask that any efforts to speak with those involved be tempered appropriately. Cases such as these tend to thrust family members into the public eye against their will, and it is my hope that the public will respect their privacy as they weather this difficult process. Michael Duke.
Okay. So, they said, further delays, they know that this is hurting Brandy. They know it is, her health's bad, and she's getting better. Thank God. Thank you, little baby Jesus, for that. But they know time could be of the essence. And even though Brandy's getting better, at the time that all this was going on, she was going through a lot. And we didn't know if we was going to have Brandy around for a lot longer, which was a scary situation for everybody here that supports Brandy Neal. Well, Vaughn now, because her and Tyler did finally get married. So she's officially Brandy Vaughn. I know we like to call her Brandy Neal, but she is officially Brandy Vaughn now. And, sad as this is, I know this is it. It makes the family feel a lot better that there's going to be some justice for Michael Monkey Vaughn. Now, yes, he was in court today. We are going to take a look at that and go over that court right here in just 1 second. Let me share this video with you guys. Let's add it to the screen. Let's see, why didn't it add it? Okay, we're having a couple internet problems. Give me 1 second as we work stuff out. There we go. Now it's popping up. Okay, so this is him appearing in court today about being charged with the murder and the kidnapping. And if you haven't, guys, yet, make sure, I know it's late night. There's only there's 550 of us here. Make sure you like the video for me. It's Halloween, okay? It's like giving Dolly a piece of candy. It's just liking the video, right? So it spreads a lot of awareness. It gets this stuff out there. And I thank you guys for hitting the like and being here with me tonight.
Wondra, go ahead, state your name.
Stacey James Wondra.
And Mr. Wondra, what is your date of birth?
9/12/92.
Thank you. All right, so you are here this evening because the Idaho issued a warrant for your arrest.
Correct.
All right.
Thank you, Pink Rose.
Your Honor, so I have a question relating. So I have had no way to contact any relatives or anybody or any legal counsel.
Okay.
Sounds like he wants to try.
Okay.
A recommendation of what I should do on this.
Okay, so we have information, and then you can make a choice, or you can choose not to make a choice.
Okay.
So we'll get there. All right. And you said your date of birth was September 12th, 1992. Is that
Yes,
correct?
ma'am.
All right. All right. As I mentioned, a warrant for your arrest has been issued by the state of Idaho. That state wants you back on its warrant. Before court, you were given some paperwork on a big white laminated card, which you have. Did you read that paperwork?
Yes.
Okay. As I stated, you have a warrant from the state of Idaho. You have a choice to make at this time. You can choose to waive your right to an extradition hearing and be sent back to Idaho within 30 days, or you can demand an extradition hearing and that a governor's warrant be signed by the governors of both states, that's Arizona and Idaho, before you are sent back to the state of Idaho. If you choose to waive your right to an extradition hearing, you would be held non-bondable in Maricopa County Jail for a period of up to 30 days to allow time for the requesting state to come for you. That 30 days would start tomorrow as long as you do not have any criminal charges pending against you anywhere in Arizona. If you do have criminal charges pending against you in Arizona, the 30-day period would not start until those charges are resolved. If you choose to have an extradition hearing, I will set your hearing for November 17th at 1:30 p.m. in the downtown Maricopa County Superior Court. I cannot appoint an attorney to represent you because extradition matters are civil in nature, but you would have the right to hire a lawyer at your expense if you choose.
He hasn't lost any weight. He's just behind that podium and he's in that big ass thing. He may have lost some weight, but he's still a little tub of lard. Okay. This is a nasty dude. Just nasty.
You are entitled to bail, which in this case would be a cash-only appearance bond in the amount of $1 million. If you are unable to post your bail, you would be held in custody during that time or until another judge modifies your bail. A governor's warrant signed by the governors of both states is required to extradite you to Idaho. That process could take up to 90 days. So you have a choice to make at this point. You can choose to waive your right to an extradition hearing and be held non-bondable here in Arizona for a period of 30 days, or you can you can go ahead with your extradition hearing on November 17th at
I'll wait it. I'll wait the 30 days for them to come get me.
Okay. All right. I understand at this time you do want to sign the waiver of extradition. I need to ask you some questions as I am making a record of this proceeding. Did you read the waiver of extradition paperwork?
Yes.
Okay. Do you understand that you do not have to sign the paperwork?
Yes.
Do you understand that you have the right to an extradition hearing?
Yes.
Do you understand that you have the right to hire a lawyer at your own expense?
Yes.
Do you understand that you have the right to demand that a governor's warrant be signed by the governors of both states before you are returned?
Yes.
Do you understand that you have the right to bail?
Yes.
Do you want to?
I mean, how good do you think they feed you in federal prison? I'm sure he lost a little bit of weight, right? I'm sure he did. Good, because he's broke and poor. He don't have money for canteen. You know, he's lazy. He didn't work a job, so he probably hasn't been eating that good. And I hope he never eats. I hope he lives off of bread and water for the next until they put him in the firing squad and there in Idaho, because that's what he's facing now. He's facing the death penalty, you know. And so here's what they'll end up doing. They'll end up saying, hey, we're going to charge you with this. You face the death penalty, or you can take a plea to second-degree murder, spend the rest of your life without the possibility of parole. And just like Kohlberger, right? They're going to do the same thing with him that Kohlberger did. He's going to take a plea to second-degree murder. He's going to spend the rest of his life in prison, and he's never getting out. His days are done. He knows it. Ha ha, that's what you get, right? I wish I had my Freddie laugh, but he's not free. He's not free. He's being held with no bond for 30 days, up to 30 days until they come and get him, right? So they have, trust me, and they're going to go get him. There's no doubt in my mind they're going to get him. They're probably working out the details of picking him up right now. But he thought he was walking free. He's probably marking the days off on his calendar, sitting there in the federal jail, thinking, man, I'm about to go home. I'm about to get out. You know, and remember he was talking about suing everybody. Say my name, I'm going to sue you. Well, let's look. We're saying your name, Stacey Wondra. I don't think nobody's worried about you suing now no more. Okay, I don't think nobody's suing. Your ass is going to be rotten, and everybody's going to be celebrating. And I'm just glad the day has come to where this dude cannot walk the streets. He cannot act like, you know, he destroyed a family, completely destroyed a family, almost killed Michael's mother. And the horrible things, think about what Michael Monkey Vaughn went through at the hands of this nasty ass dude. The Christian in me tries to stop me from being so mean about it, right? Like if God and Jesus would just look away for a minute, you know what I'm saying? If they would just look away for a minute, I got some things I'd like to say about this guy. And I know it ain't good to wish bad on people, but I wish this dude nothing but the worst. Okay. And I'll take that up with little Jesus when I get there. And I know it's wrong, but man, I hope every day you sit in prison, somebody does something horrible to you like you did to that child.
Give up those rights and sign the paperwork.
Yes.
Has anyone threatened you or promised you anything to get you to sign the paperwork?
No.
Have you had any drugs, alcohol, or medication within the last 24 hours?
No.
You got to say it out loud.
No, I have not.
Okay. I am finding that you are knowingly and
Brandon Shirtliff, right here. Somebody said, who was Brandon? Brandon Shirtliff is walking the streets right now. He is a kidnapper. He's a child abductor, and he is a free man. Hide your kids, hide your wives, hide your husbands. They kidnapping everybody out here. Okay. This man is next to go. It's just a matter of time until they probably already have the warrants for him, and they're trying to locate him so they can serve these warrants because he's out of state. And he's been kind of drifting around a lot over the last couple years. But trust me, if JLR can find him, you better believe the Fruitland police are going to find Brandon. And Brandon, look, I even put a video out straight to Brandon to talk. What was their motive to kidnap this precious child? I believe, on me, Mom, and Brandy Neal, if you're watching this or listening to this or the replay of it, close your ears for a minute or walk out the room, please. I believe it was sexual in nature. I truly do. These are nasty people. Nasty. This dude is a predator. He was hanging out with another predator. And the other dude was sleeping with his wife. It's bad. And what makes me think that is because he was talking with Brandy. And then just out of nowhere, he said, I've never been accused or charged with sexually assaulting a minor or kid or something like that. And the conversation wasn't even there. And you know how when people are lying, sometimes pieces of the truth slip out, or there's what they call slippage, where they just talk and their mouth moves faster than their brain operates. I truly believe this was a crime of a monster that wanted to essay a small child. Think about that. Usually the cases when strangers kidnap you, and when they didn't kidnap them to keep them, what would their other intent be? Usually when men kidnap women, what do they want? They don't want to just hang out and play Atari or Nintendo, right? It's usually something sexual in nature, and I believe this is what it was. This dude is a sick individual, and I pray to God he pays every day, every single day.
Intelligently and voluntarily are signing the waiver, and I'm also signing it. I am directing the sheriff's office to notify the requesting state that you are ready to return. The requesting state will have 30 days from tomorrow to pick you up unless there are local charges pending. If there are local charges pending, the 30 days will not start until the conclusion of that case. Do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right.
He's walked in there with a mohawk and a goatee. Because, he's trying to put off this tough guy appearance, right? Old blinky eye rubbing his face ass dude. How disgusting. How just disgusting, right? Like, I don't even know what to say about it. It's that horrible, right? Let me pause this. And I want to go over some of the things he said in the interview. Last night I was having problems with my internet. I wasn't able to do this. But he knows why he's there. He knows he's being charged with the murder. He knows he's being charged with second-degree kidnapping. He pretty much knows what the charges are, even though he kind of walked in there and said he didn't. There's a phone call that leaked on the internet where he knew when he walked in there that he was going to be facing murder charges and second-degree kidnapping charges. So let me pull this video up real quick. I'm going to start it over because some of you may not have been here last night when we started going over this, but I want to break down some of the key details because he did a lot of interviews with people, right? But the only interview he admitted to seeing a kid was me. And I hope and pray that this interview is used against him in court. Because, of course, I'm going to be there. All right, I'm going to be there for this. I'm going to make sure I want to see this monster personally go to prison. And just like I did this monster that's on the screen. Okay, anybody remember that girl? That one right there? Leilani Simon. You know, I so wanted to see her go to prison. I had just had a heart attack, and I was like, the hell if I'm missing this. Get in the car. I mean, I had just got out the hospital, and I was like, okay, we're going to this. I don't care. I wanted to watch them tears roll and watch her cry. And we did. We seen that, right? 323 on the like button. Justice for Michael. Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you for hitting the like, brother. I can't twist people's arms and make them like the video, but I wish you guys would. It's a nice thing to do. It don't cost you anything. Hey, Dolly Kruger, looking spooky, dude. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I wish it was under better circumstances than talking about, you know, what we're talking about, but these things have to be discussed. I was ready to walk. I wasn't hanging out for nothing. I was like, let me out this place. Yeah, she cried. What is going on, YouTube? It is good to see everybody back jumping in the chat room. There's like 500-600 of you here already. If you're just tuning in, make sure you smash that like button. We have a guest with us tonight, Mr. Stacey Wondra. Stacey, how you doing tonight?
Good. How you guys doing?
Doing. Now, let me say this for anybody who don't know. I didn't want to do this interview. Okay. I didn't want nothing to do with this man. I was asked by Brandy Neal herself not to attack this man and to try to let him talk as much as he could, because the more he talked, the more he was liable to say that would, you know, you give somebody enough rope, they'll hang themselves. So my whole thing was this. Thank you, Sarah, for jumping on the Blessed Express. You ain't blessed unless you want to express. And Sarah, you blessed, girl. You blessed. You may need them blessings. It's, you know, Halloween. You might need all the blessings you can get. So I wanted to pin his timeline down. You know, that way, even if he went to court, I had it written down. I had everything written down. So I knew the answers to the questions before I even asked them, right? But I didn't want to feed him answers. I wanted him to lock himself into certain times, and he did that. And not only did he do that, but he said he broke down right in front of their house. He said that he saw a small child out there. Now, he tried to make it be like it wasn't Monkey, but he did admit to seeing a child on that corner, right? And Monkey was the only one out there at that time. So I think this interview did do some good. And soon as I did this interview, I handed this interview over to private investigators. All right. Then we got Sarah to do an interview from jail. We'll go into that a little bit tonight too. If I had to pull it up, I had to find it. But we did an interview with Sarah and Stacey. So you know, everything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. Pretty good. It's a pleasure to have you here. Now, guys in the chat, I want to let you know that Stacey wants to speak out and try to clear his name about some of the things that have been said. Now, I want you guys in the chat to be very respectful while he is here. Okay? So, Stacey, now I know we got to go back a little bit in time, you know, and you're willing to jump into the hold on, he's back. He's back. We lost you for a second. Now you're willing to jump in the DeLorean, do 88 miles an hour with me tonight. We go back a little bit in time to the day all this that's transpiring now would have occurred on, which would have been July 27th, 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Just basically tell me how the day started. How did your day start that day, and what was going on that day? Anything different than any other day?
Not at all. Nothing different. I mean, it was I'm pretty sure it was a sunny day. You know, there was, you know, the routine started the same as every other day. You know, got up out of bed, get some coffee, you know, had some breakfast.
Now, when you woke up that morning, who was at your house that morning that you woke up?
Brandon, Adrian, and Sarah.
So, you're married to Sarah, right? Are you still married to her?
No, getting the divorce finalized this week.
Okay, so you're getting divorce finalized this week. So from there, what happened? You get up, you eat breakfast, a normal day, and you're in what? You're in a cab business.
Taxi company, yeah.
So you run a taxi company, and you run that out your home right there in the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
And is it, from my understanding, is that business ran through Craigslist?
No.
He's trying to lie. That was ran through Craigslist. And not only that, this is where they were meeting some of these weirdo ass people at that he was bringing over to have sex with his wife. So he knows, I knew good and well how he ran the business through Craigslist, but I just wanted him to answer it, right? And then he says no. And then he goes, well, at one point it was on Craigslist. So he's just a big ass liar. How was your business? How did you advertise your business? Was it something that
we had a bunch of business cards?
See, I learned one thing from the FBI when they came to interview me is they only ask you questions they already know the answers to see if you'll lie. It's just they ask you something simple that they already know, and then they just want to see if you will lie. And then they know if they can believe you. If you tell the truth on them simple questions, they believe you're telling the truth on the harder questions. But they only ask you questions they already know the answer to. And that's how I start our interview off. I'm trying to gauge how his honesty to dishonesty. And you can already see the confusion on my face. Look at my face. I'm like, you're lying off a simple question. Like, did you run your business off of Craigslist? And in my mind, I'm thinking, why the hell is he lying about something that's so simple that you could just be like, yeah, we put ads on Craigslist. No big deal, right?
Business cards. We had a Facebook page. We had, I think we might have advertised one time on Craigslist offering rides, but
see, so it's kind of a word of mouth, small business that you was running out of your house.
Exactly.
So on this day, after you had breakfast, did you get a call for a ride or something of that nature?
Yeah. Sarah was the one that was in charge of taking the calls. She took a phone call and then asked me if I wanted to go do it. It was from Ontario to Boise Airport.
Hope you're okay, Claudia.
It was, it was good money for us. It was $150 one way.
One way. Okay. So do you remember about what time of day that you took that first cab ride?
I left about 1 o'clock.
So you left for about 1, and you were going for how long do you think you was gone for on that first cab ride that morning?
I was, how long was I gone, you said?
Yeah, for the first one that you took. How long was your first trip?
I mean, I only took one ride that day. Sarah was gone the morning time. She took Adrian to Nampa or Boise or wherever they went. But I know I only did one run and I left about 1 o'clock.
Okay. What was
I got back about 4:30.
Before you left, like when you got up, what was the mood in the house like? What was everybody doing? Was they just sitting around
peaceful?
What were they talking about? Anything unusual? Anything nothing out of the normal?
Not at all.
So you left. Did you leave before Sarah left, or did Sarah leave before you?
She was gone before me.
Okay, so you were there when she left with Adrian. So Brandon, he was still at the house.
No, Brandon, Sarah, and Adrian went to Nampa or Boise.
Okay, they all went together.
Although Boise, I'm sorry.
Okay, and then shortly after you left to take the that cab trip.
Correct.
Okay. So when you come back in the neighborhood, do you know about what time it is?
Got back like after the taxi run or after?
Yeah, after the taxi run.
Vehicle. It's like 4:30.
So you got back about 4:30. All right.
Correct.
So when you got back home, was anybody there?
No, it was just me.
Okay, just you.
Oh no, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. Yeah. No, Sarah and Brandon were home.
Okay, so they were already back from. Even Dolly soap could not wash the stench off this guy. Okay, listen, my soap does work miracles. It'll make your skin smooth and soft and make you smell good, right? Get it while you can at buydollysoap.com. But listen, there ain't no soap in the world good enough to wash this shit right here. Okay. I know my soap is great. I say it's the best soap there is. You're going to need more than soap. Okay. You're going to need more than soap for this shit right here.
Dropping
Mhm.
Adrian off in either Boise or where was it you said?
Follower in Nampa. I don't know exactly
Oh,
where they
okay.
were. Their stories never match up. So
So, okay. It's funny you say the stories don't match up because I noticed one thing in the News 7 interview that you did. You really said that, you know, you couldn't believe that Sarah or Brandon would do something like this. But Adrian, you kind of had your doubts about, and she
Mhm.
glossed over that. My curiosity is this: what made you think that they wouldn't do this, but Adrian might? That was my curiosity, like, because I wanted to hear you speak a little more on that. What made you think that, oh, they wouldn't do it, but Adrian might? Is there something about this guy that stands out to you that may be a little different?
Yeah.
Or
He's got a
Guys, this is not an interview. This is an interrogation. Okay. I didn't interview this guy. I interrogated this guy. Right. It was just straight up watching, the next 48 hours all my life, every season of next 48. I was trying to build a timeline. I was trying to build things that he couldn't back out of. That's why I'm so persistent about times and when was you there? When did you leave? Where was you at this time? It's to build a timeline, right? So that way, when you go to court, you can go, well, yeah, I got back in the neighborhood around 2:00. You can go, well, no, you didn't. You told this man right here, you got back in here at 1:00, that you was there by 4:30 before the police got there. Okay. Cause we got to have the timeline, because if he left after the police were there, then he couldn't have left with Michael Monkey Vaughn. But we established that there was no police in the neighborhood yet. We established that he broke down across the street from Michael Monkey Vaughn's house. That's why I had the streets pulled up. That's why I had the names of the streets pulled up, the times that he was at the park, the times that I wanted the time that he was pulled over. He tried to change that, but it was just to lock him into a time frame.
infamous history of human trafficking.
You did,
of
Sarah.
how are you aware? How are you aware of his?
The detectives informed me.
Okay, while you was in jail. Now you wasn't in jail for nothing to do with Michael Monkey Vaughn. You was in jail for
Found
charges.
possession of a firearm.
Yeah, unrelated charges. So you was
Mhm.
already.
Green Dot Dave,
okay,
how's it going?
I understand that. So you get back home. Brandon and Sarah are there at the house. What is going on when you get there? Are they just hanging out? Are they watching TV?
Yeah, just hang out. I don't even remember if we had a TV during that time frame, but because Sarah had really bad fucking, I don't know, psychological issues. She would one point she'd be like, "Oh, TV's for the devil." It's it's
Well, y'all were the
blah, blah, blah,
devil.
blah. And then one minute she'd be, "Oh, we can get a TV now." So we
Yeah.
really never had a TV more than maybe 2 or 3 months at a time.
Well, when they became the devils, they could get a TV. You heard that, right? He said Sarah said TV was for the devil, but then she was like, "Hey, we can get a TV now because y'all did something so horrible, you damn devils."
Before I get too far into it, what would you say the mental state of Sarah is? Do you think is she
Mentally unstable.
mentally
100%.
unstable? But would you say does she understand right from wrong?
I think she's capable of it. Whether she falls through it is a different story.
Okay.
He didn't answer that.
So you get back, they're just hanging out, regular day. Nothing so far seems out of the ordinary to you. Just regular day, waking up, making money, trying to live. I got that. So what happens at that point in the day? Okay. Where do y'all go next?
Brandon asked us to go to pick up his car in Cuda.
Okay.
And he had been asking us prior quite a lot. So we just put it off.
I think when he gets nervous, he rubs his face. Like he's like this a lot. You know what I'm saying? Or either that or he has face lice. I don't know. He likes to touch his face a lot, or when he gets nervous, I think he yawns or looks around. He has a couple different tales to him. Like if we was playing poker, I would pick him out.
Up, and we're just tired of asking us. So
Was there anything wrong with his car?
yeah, he blew the spark plugs out of it.
Okay, so that's why y'all were going down to pick his car up.
Mhm.
Now, from my understanding, do you tow a trailer also?
I mean, I can tow trailers. I know how. We
Uh,
didn't tow a
was
trailer that
was
night.
y'all going to tow his vehicle back, or was he? You
It was
going
a
to?
tow strap, correct?
Okay, so y'all were hooking it up to your vehicle to
Yeah.
tow his vehicle back.
Correct.
So he asked you, he's like, Stacey, I need you to take me to get my car. Will you help me out?
Mhm.
And just you're like, yeah, I'll help you. I hate to backtrack a little bit. How did you meet Brandon?
They're moving job through Labor Days.
So y'all have done, is it true to say y'all have done different odd jobs, I guess, on the
All
internet?
time. I used to be huge fanatic, huge fan of doing odd jobs. It was an easy way to make some money.
Okay. I understand that. So y'all decide that you're going to go ahead and take him and tow his car back to his house. Now, listen, there was at one point, I guess it was believed that you was at the splash pad around 1:30 that day.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a reason? And I guess this would have been before you went to make that run to your taxi ride.
Yeah, so I stopped at the splash pad because I needed to get my can of chew that had fallen into the passenger side floorboard, like the farthest away, so I couldn't exactly just stop and.
Yeah, I understand. For people that are watching that don't understand, the splash pad is a little park at the beginning. I would say is that 8th Street, Stacey?
Yeah.
Okay, it's a little splash pad at the beginning of 8th Street, and there's a little parking lot because even when I was there, it was an easy place for me to pull over. So I pulled over in that same parking lot that you would have pulled over in. And you say that you had your chew, you had to get it out the car.
Mm.
Okay. Now here's the thing about that parking lot. Grown ass men don't sit in the parking lot of a small play area unless you have your kids with you. Okay. Now, if you have your kids with you, I could see you sitting out there. If you's a grown ass man and you sitting in your car looking at little kids and you don't got a kid with you, we know what you are. Okay. People don't just go, well, let me go sit here and look at other people's kids. They don't do that. Okay. A normal man don't do that. I have a daughter. I used to go to the park and I maybe would sit on the hood of the car while she played on the swings and slide and stuff like that. There ain't never one time that I rode up to the park without my child and said, well, just let me sit here and watch these kids play. Because you know what that is? That's fucking creepy. That is what it is.
So that would have put you on. That's why your vehicle was seen at the park that day, is because you were getting your chew out of the vehicle.
Correct.
Okay. Now that day was around that time of the day. Was Brandon with you at all? It was just you at the splash pad, correct?
Oh, it was just me.
Oh, okay.
Just
So-
so you guys can see.
So at what time? Okay, yeah, long cut.
You won't be chewing on no tobacco no more, but I tell you what, you'll be swallowing. It ain't gonna be long. It will be long cut. You might be swallowing some long cut here soon. Right. So that ain't the only thing you're gonna have in your mouth.
Longhorn.
Longhorn. Okay.
I'm a huge Copenhagen nerd, but this was the cheapest I could get, so I was okay with that.
You think he's
Okay,
a
so-
waterhead, baby?
So you go off, you do cab ride, you come back home. Brandon and your girl is there now. Now I don't really like to dive into your
Oh, it'd be
personal
good.
relationship, but I mean, you've openly said things on the news and on other channels that she was sleeping with Brandon.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
He's like,
And
oh,
that you
yeah.
was aware of that because you wasn't sleeping with her and it was consensual that you gave them permission to
Mhm.
sleep. Okay.
Yeah, for a couple days. Yeah.
And then
Well,
I guess from what I'm hearing, it went a little longer than a couple days kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, this dude can't even see his junk, right? He probably ain't seen that since he was a kid. Like, he ain't seen his feet. He ain't seen nothing in a long time. He don't even know what he's working with. Yeah. Everybody's been calling him out for years.
A week or a couple days turned into a week turned into like 2 weeks. 2 weeks
Now, I
turned
hate
into
to
a month. So
Was y'all inviting? I hate to get too personal. Was y'all inviting people into the relationship like that a lot, or was this
oh
kind
hell
of
no.
this kind of a new thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a reason? Is she? I hear she wanted a baby. Is that true?
I didn't. Not with her.
But how much had she talked to you about wanting a baby?
I mean, it's always been a thought process. It's just not like we sat there and talked about it for hours.
Yeah. Okay.
But she would bring it up to me. But when she when she told me after she cheated on me that she caught herpes, that was just
Okay. Now, she does have herpes. All right. So, he has herpes. These are a whole bunch of herps. Okay. The thing is this, she didn't cheat on you if you let her sleep with another man. Okay. That ain't cheating. Cheating is when you sleep with people and you don't have permission. That's cheating. You were allowing her to sleep with other men and get herpes and bring herpes back to you. That is not cheating. Okay. If you have permission to do something, that is not cheating. So, and this is probably a good reason any fellows out there that's watching. I don't think y'all would do this, but this is a reason you don't let your woman go sleep with a bunch of random men is because of herpes. Okay. It's the gift that keeps on giving. There's no cure for herpes. You carry it around for the rest of your life like luggage. Okay. So, as a man, we try to avoid the herpes as much as we can. That's why you get yourself a good girl so you don't wake up with a cold sore. All right.
the end of the whole sex.
Now, this was cheating on
Right.
somebody that you hadn't approved of.
Oh yeah.
So
she
was
did it a lot.
she was cheating outside of the relationship, not just
Mhm.
essential stuff that you was allowing, but other people that you.
And Sarah's just as nasty as he is. Okay. You think he's nasty. His wife is even nastier. So, I mean, they're bad. I mean, this is literally what throw up in your mouth tastes like.
He wasn't allowing.
Exactly.
Okay. So around that day, you decide that you're going to go ahead, you're going to take Brandon to get his vehicle, and you decide to leave. Okay. I'm assuming you have to once again go down 8th Street to get out the neighborhood. For anybody that don't know, this neighborhood is basically one way in, one way out.
One way out.
Yeah. When you go in, you have to go past the splash pad to get in it. You have to come past the splash pad to get out it. At the end of at the end of 8th Street is a windy dirt road that leads you down to the Snake River. It's I think it's 3 neighborhoods in a cul-de-sac type area. I'll show it to you guys on the map in a little bit. So when you was leaving there, around what time do you think you decided, okay, Brandon, and who all left with you? Sarah went with you, Brandon went with you. By this time, Adrian's already gone.
Yeah, so it's just us 3.
So y'all load up in what vehicle do you load up in?
Took the red GMC for the burgundy.
The GMC. So at some point you're leaving. Do you stop anywhere on the way?
Here's where it lies. No.
Yeah. No, we didn't. Sorry.
Okay.
My puppy's distracting.
Okay. At some point, did you have to put brake fluid or power steering fluid or something into your vehicle?
Damn dog probably got herpes.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, we did stop at like right outside the subdivision.
So you stopped right outside the subdivision. Are you talking about like on the main drag on like 8th?
Yeah, 8th Street, 8th in Arizona. That stops right there.
That's
so
where
you come out your neighborhood and you come to 8th right there at the corner. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you stop and you put power steering fluid in your vehicle.
Yep.
Now, was you the only person to get out the vehicle at that point?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
So you check the level, you see it needs some power steering fluid. Now, while you was there, did you notice anything?
Then noticed a boy playing in the neighborhood, but where somebody.
CB, thank you for that super sticker. And you heard him. He said he noticed a boy in the neighborhood. Okay. This is the only interview where he says this. So this is important because Arizona, Michael Monkey Vaughn lives right off of Arizona. So he stopped on 8th Street in Arizona. That is the beginning of Michael Monkey Vaughn's neighborhood. Well, he don't say he has herpes, but his wife does, and they're sleeping together. So what does that tell you? I mean, I don't mean necessarily he has it, but there's a high probability that he does. But right here, he just said he's seen a child in the neighborhood.
His yard, but it doesn't
Now-
make any more unusual than.
Now let me I know the area pretty good. So
You know,
when
he
you
looks
come out your
right.
neighborhood,
Yes,
there's a
his
field
eyes.
that sits adjacent straight across from your neighborhood, right?
Mhm.
Okay, now if you was to go down, the first right would be, let's see, the first right, I don't know what the name of that street is, off of
It's
8th.
there.
Okay, repeat. What are you asking? Which
Where I'm just trying to get a location where you would have stopped, a good general basis of where you stopped. Like
so,
when you
so do you know where Arizona is, right? So you pull out the subdivision, Hidden Meadow subdivision, and you take a left,
Mm-hmm.
and right there's a little dirt patch right before the
I know exactly what you're talking about.
yep. So we pulled off right on the right hand side of the road.
Okay, okay.
Before the stops, before Arizona.
Okay. Now let me ask you this.
Probably
Now,
500 feet before.
No.
okay, so in this,
No, you have to understand there was a little boy on the corner that Michael liked to play with. Okay. But that little boy was inside. And if you look at my intro to my video, I'm standing on that corner that we're talking about. Okay. Just on the other end of the corner. He was on 8th in Arizona. Arizona, and I'm not going to put Brandy's name of her road out there, but it's the next road over. Okay. One road over. But that's the beginning of the neighborhood. So Michael lived one house away from the corner. Okay. So you could easily, if he walked to the corner, you would have been able to see him from where Stacey was at. That's what I'm trying to get across to you people without actually doxing her location or anything like that. But her address is all in the news, where her house is and where the kidnapping was, right? But Arizona, you turn, let's just say you left his house. You take a right on Arizona, you go down there's only one road that you can turn on. So it's not a big area. And he was sitting right there to where if Michael would have came out his house, he could have seen him. Now, he wasn't facing Michael's front yard, but if Michael came out into the road or came to the corner, he could have absolutely seen Michael Monkey Vaughn. Okay.
what time would you think this was during the day?
5:15.
Five.
No, sorry. We left about 5:30. So
Carol Cook, this is the guy that has been arrested for the murder of Michael Monkey Vaughn. This is Stacey Wondra. Okay, him and his wife are going to be charged with the murder and kidnapping of Michael Monkey Vaughn. I interviewed him, which more like an interrogation of him. And I was just trying to build a timeline, put him at the location, and he just did that. He did that. He just put himself there with a little child outside. So if they don't use this against him in court, I don't know what to use against him, because this shit, it locks him in it locks his time frame in there. It puts him there. It puts him at the splash pad. It puts him in front of Michael's house. It puts a small child out there with him while he was there. This is a pretty damaging interview or interrogation that he done, I would say.
Been like 5:40.
5:40.
Hey,
Okay.
Have my bottle with her, please.
All right. So when you're sitting there, you're putting power steering fluid in your vehicle, and you notice a child with a. Tell me a little bit about the child you noticed. What did you see? What was going on? What you can remember? I know it's been 2.5, almost 3 years, so I know it's hard. But if you can remember anything from maybe what the kid was wearing, what the kid looked like,
I just know he had dark brown hair.
Uh-huh.
He was taller, like he had to have been 8, 9, 10 years old. Did not look anything. Not. I mean, mind you, it wasn't a clear picture. You know what I mean? I wasn't really trying to pay attention. You know.
Yeah, you was putting power steering.
Always pay attention to my surroundings all the time. You know. But nothing was unusual about it. Like you just seemed like a normal kid just playing in the neighborhood.
Yeah, and you say he had a toy. Do you remember what kind of toy he may have had?
No. I didn't pay attention again. I just know he was playing with something is all I know.
And you didn't see nobody else around the kid. Was he in a yard?
Yeah, he was in the neighbor's yard, yeah. Or one of the people's yards.
Notice that he was in the neighbor's yard. You notice? Did you hear him say that? Did you hear that? Right? He was in the neighbor's yard. And what did I say? He liked to play with the neighbor's kid. The neighbor lives on the corner, right? Michael lives one house in. He said he was at the neighbor's house. Now, if you've seen a kid playing in the yard, how would you know it's the neighbor? How would you know? You wouldn't. He knew where he stalked this child. This is intentional. This is why this is first-degree murder, right? I pay attention to every single tiny detail of everything. He was at the neighbor's house. How did he know that child didn't live at the house? Because he knew what child it was. He knew what child he grabbed, right? He knew that there was a toy. He slipped up so many times in this interview that even I was sitting there thinking in my mind, I can't believe I got him to say this, right? Y'all heard it, right? Y'all heard it. He said he was at the neighbor's house. Damn, dude. I can't wait to see you in court, and I can't wait to see your face when they play this video. Okay. I just can't wait. It's going to be like, boom, there you are. There you are with a kid in front of his house. And you just said the kid was at the neighbor's house. Brandon snatched him. I think Brandon is the kidnapper, but it was all behind a plot that this fat tub ass dude right here had. So, I mean, if I was a jury right now, I would convict you on just what I heard. You done put yourself at the location. You done seen a kid. You just said the kid was at the neighbor's house. How would you know that? How would you know that? There's no way to know that unless you had stalked this child. Not good.
Street, but
Okay.
I assumed it was just somebody.
He wasn't playing in none of the fields over there.
No.
Oh, okay. That's what I was trying to get at. Was he in the field or was he near? Because a lot of that is
outside the neighbors, outside a house, like in the front yard.
He was outside
across from the
house.
field.
He said it again.
Sit right across from the field. Okay. So how long do you think he was there putting power steering fluid in the vehicle?
At max 30 seconds. It doesn't take very long.
30 seconds.
And then you jump in and you leave from there and you continue down 8th Street to go to.
If you could get out your vehicle and put power steering fluid in your car in 30 seconds, you would be on a pit crew at NASCAR, not NASA spaceship. You'd be a pit crew, NASCAR pit crew person.
Brandon's, what is it? His mother's house?
In Kuna?
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this. Do you remember, but I know it's been a long time. I know this you might not remember. Do you remember what Brandon and Sarah were wearing that day?
This is
No.
important.
No way you don't remember at all.
No.
Was it, or they dressed?
Brandon always wore shorts usually in the summertime. So I
Bingo.
assume it was shorts.
That's what I was looking for. Okay. Because remember, the guy in the CCTV video was wearing shorts. Right. So that's why I asked him, because I wanted him to say Brandon was wearing shorts and a cutoff shirt. And I was just trying to walk him into that. And when he said it, I was like, okay, he's omitting these things because the man on CCTV had on shorts, black tennis shoes, and he had a white shirt that was cut off.
Sarah probably wore her jeans, if I had to guess.
Okay, so she's wearing some jeans, and he usually wears shorts.
Yeah.
You ever know Brandon to wear shirts with like cut off sleeves or anything?
No.
Never see him with no cut off sleeves. Okay, now at that point, y'all leave there. Y'all don't stop no more in the neighborhood, right? Correct?
You know what?
Y'all don't stop in the neighborhood no more after putting the power steering.
Not at all.
Okay, so now y'all leave down 8th Street and then you're heading towards Kuna, you said, correct?
Uh-huh. Correct.
All right. So on the way to Kuna, did you stop anywhere to go to the bathroom, stop and
No.
get anything to drink? Nothing on the way. So you was already gassed up.
No, we already had gas in the truck. I always kept the truck full. 90% of the time, the truck was always full on gas.
Okay. And when y'all came up out of 8th Street, what direction did you go in when you came up out of 8th Street? Did you take a left? Did you take a right? Which way did you take?
When we left to go to Kuna, or when we came
Yeah,
back?
when you left.
We took a right off Whitley, going
Okay.
up US 95 to the interstate past the Chevron.
Okay, I got you. But y'all never stopped at that Chevron at any point?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. So how long did it take you think, to get to Brandon's house?
Um,
About an hour and a half ride?
45 minutes. 45 minutes. It
Okay.
depended. I don't remember exactly because traffic could have been again, that was a long time ago, you know, so I'm trying to do the best I can. But traffic most likely was a little backed up.
Uh-huh.
But traffic is only usually backed up coming from Boise to Ontario, not usually going from Boise to Ontario, or Boise to Fruitland to Boise.
Yeah, I follow you. Okay, so y'all didn't stop anywhere in between the trip. Y'all
No.
drove straight over to Brandon's, and that was his mother's house, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, did Brandon have anything with him?
He had his duffel bag full of clothes, but
I
it was
wanted
small.
that answer
It wasn't
too.
even a huge duffel bag. It was tiny.
Like, what do you consider tiny? Like a book
I mean,
bag size, or big enough to fit?
Take
skate-
like a small duffel bag, you know, had the little head straps on
Uh-huh.
it, but not near big enough to put any a human in it at all.
Okay, so you're saying there's no way that he could have stuffed a small child
No.
in that bag. He just had dirty clothes in the bag.
Yeah.
Okay, so y'all get over there about 45 minutes later. What happens when y'all get there? What transpires at that point?
Brandon went into the house. He said he was going to go do some laundry or whatever. He's going to get some water because, you know, he always told us he didn't like drinking our water at our house, which made no sense because he drank it all the time. Like he would drink lots of it. So,
Well, I'm kind of
Huh?
like that too. I don't drink water from places I ain't from.
Now, here's the thing is, you know, like I said, I did a lot of research into this, and what I'm asking him was, I don't think he expected all the questions either, but I had already written down what I wanted to know and what I was trying to get him. So if you notice, I'm looking down a lot because I'm looking at my notebooks because I have all the time frames. I have everything laid out of different sections of different things that I'm trying to get to the bottom of in these categories. So I may kind of dwell on things that don't seem important, but that's how I'm walking them into these questions. Okay. I'm hitting them with things that don't really matter. Right. And then I'm like, boom, I hit him with a hard one. Right. So he don't really have if you just hit him with one hard question, then it gets a little crazy, but it's kind of get you talking, get you relaxed, and then hit you with one. Right. It's like a boxer with a jab. You just jab and jab and jab and bow, hit your ass. Right. So that's kind of the technique that I was going with. But I had already knew everything I wanted to get from him, everything, and I was trying to walk him into the things like almost like a setup, like I'm setting up my punches. You know, if he says this, I'm going to ask him this. If he says this, I'm going to ask him this. So I'm already had my counters set up for what he says.
It makes you sick. It'll make you sick. Every time I go and drink water and I'm not from that place, it'll make me sick. I don't know what it is. My body can't take it. If I drink bottled water, I'm okay. I can understand it. So he goes inside to wash clothes. Now, did he wash the clothes that he was wearing?
No, he just didn't change the clothes, but I
So
just
he
know
goes-
he literally, all I know to my knowledge, he just washed the clothes that was washed. It was double bag.
But he did change the clothes he was wearing, you said.
Yes.
Okay, so he goes in, changes clothes, washes the clothes that's in his duffel bag. Do you or Sarah ever go in the house with him?
No, Sarah and I was outside.
He wanted to say Sarah was in the house.
Sorry.
You're fine.
I was outside hooking the vehicle up to the car.
Okay. What kind of vehicle do you remember? Did Brandon?
It was a Mercedes Benz. It was 1999 Mercedes Benz.
1999.
Brandon was always, for some reason, he was always a fan of foreign vehicles. I could never understand it, but
Yeah, I had one of those too. It was a piece of shit. Okay, I don't remember if it was
Mercedes
a 99.
sucks. I don't.
It was. I think
And
mine was.
when it comes to fixing them, is ridiculous.
I know mine had a little piece go out, and it was a fortune. And I ended up junking the car over. It was too much to fix it. So, so you hook up his Mercedes 1999 piece of crap to the GMC. So you're outside. He's inside. How long do you think that takes you to get that all hooked up and stuff like that?
Well, I had to make sure it was secure. You know what I mean? So I
Brandon
probably
had
say
his
it took
part
me
in this.
15 minutes. To get
Yeah.
everything lined up because I had to push his car out of the driveway, and then had to
So basically, you and Sarah just wait in the vehicle while he's
Correct.
inside washing clothes. What was like her demeanor like that night? Was y'all having good conversations? Was y'all getting along? How was everything in y'all's relationship at this point? Like, as far as y'all conversation wise in the vehicle?
I mean, it's hard for me to drive without music and be in the truck without music. Music is my life. So a lot of times when Sarah and I were in the truck, even if we're just sitting somewhere, I would blast music. I would just turn the music up. I had a really good sound system in the truck. So, I think most likely at that time, it was more music than it was conversation.
Okay, so y'all were just sitting around listening to me. What kind of music do you listen to, Stacey?
You name it, I'd probably.
Are you like a classic rock guy? Are you like a metalhead? Or you like I like pop?
Well, you and I would probably get along pretty good because Five Finger Death Punch.
I like Five Finger Death Punch. They're awesome.
Five Finger Death Punch, Volbeat, Shinedown, 3 Days Grace. I like Metallica, like Skid Row.
I love Skid Row. One of my favorites back in the day.
18 to Life was my favorite song by them.
That's crazy. We probably would get along, didn't Stacey? I'm a super big Sebastian Bach fan. I hate to admit it.
Oh my God.
We would never get along, right? So I'm just buying in this, but I do like Skid Row. But me and this dude here, we would never get along.
I love
Sebastian Bach is amazing, and then I like Falling in Reverse.
Falling in Reverse is good. Okay, I gotta get it.
Escape the Fate, 18 Visions, Burn Halo.
Okay, I got a good concept of the kind of music you listen to now. Okay, so y'all y'all jamming out, y'all. Is Sarah kind of into the same stuff as you, like the same rocker type?
No,
she's not.
She would tolerate it just because she knew that's all I would play.
What kind of stuff was she into? What kind of music? Like, is she
Trey songs, R&B a lot. Trey songs, BB King, Rihanna, just girl shit.
Yeah, I got you. I feel you. I listen to that. I mean, I gotta listen to it. I got a girl, so she makes me listen to that same type of stuff. Okay, so y'all sitting out there, very little conversation, just jamming out the music. And how long do you think y'all sat out there waiting on him to do the close?
I ain't never heard
Just a
DJ
guess.
listen to Rihanna.
I think he just threw him in the washer at that time. I don't think he even put him in the dryer, but I think it probably took him maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
Okay.
About the time it took me to hook the car up and stuff. So
he washed him fairly quick.
oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And okay, from there y'all got the car hooked up. And then where do y'all go from there?
So we took a route going through, I want to say going through Eagle Road, down to the Black Canyon Highway. I remember that took you into Payette, by Clay Peak landfill, and stuff like that. But
so you
hit right by the landfill. And you got to remember, I have just been going through this stuff with Quentin Simon, right? And Quentin Simon ended up in the landfill, and he was thinking, okay, well, they didn't go back the same way. They went a different route that took them past a landfill. And not only that, they stop across the street from the landfill. This right here sent chills up my spine. I mean, just chills up my spine.
y'all drove past the landfill. What made you decide to take a different route back than you took there?
Well, anybody that's ever tows a vehicle on the tow strap knows that.
So you took interstate there, and take the back with the vehicle towing?
Correct.
Is that why you chose to do that? That would make probably the most sense. Yeah, because I tow trailers. A lot of times I'll take the back route, so I don't have to get on the interstate with the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
So you was just circling back a different way and you say that took you down past the landfill, all those things, and y'all was heading back. Where was y'all heading to at that point? Back home?
Yes.
Okay. So on the way back home, did y'all stop anywhere, or maybe stop, get a drink, use the bathroom, or any of these things on the way back?
Yeah. So we had pulled off. We made a turn, and Sarah towing the vehicle. She never towed one before. She wanted to learn. So
you wasn't driving. You was a passenger. Okay. Did you drive there, or did Sarah drive to Brandon's?
No, she drove there and back.
Oh, she drove there and back. So she had never towed a vehicle at this point. So you just kind of coaching her along the way as she's pulling the vehicle.
Yep.
Okay. So y'all pull off. You say you pull off somewhere else?
Yeah, because what happened is it was at a stoplight. We didn't.
So he don't know what lie to tell.
It was at a stoplight, you said?
Yes.
So y'all didn't pull off and stop anywhere?
No.
Y'all just stopped at a stoplight?
Well, we did stop on the side of the road, but that was because the tow strap snapped.
Oh.
Because there was too much slack.
Uh-huh.
Hey, give me 1 second.
Okay.
So, see, he said he didn't stop. Then he said he did stop. But the whole thing is they stopped right across the street from this landfill. And this is what you can just see my mind.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry.
Squirrels is running.
So we're going to pick back up right where you left off. You said y'all stopped at a red light, pulled off because the tow strap had broke. Now you get out there. Do you have another tow strap with you?
No, I just there was enough tow strap I could just tie it in a double knot. So that's what I did.
Now, how long do you think you was out there messing with that on the side of the road? Was it like a quick thing? You got out there
10 minutes probably at tops.
So you were pulled over for about 10 minutes just working on the strap.
I know Sarah had gotten out of the vehicle, so she really had to take a pee, and she had to use the bathroom on the side of the road. So that's what she did.
Now, why wouldn't Sarah have used the bathroom at the house? Why did they have to pull over to do everything? Okay, wouldn't you have, in the beginning, if you was leaving the house, wouldn't you have put power steering fluid in before you left? Right? Why wouldn't you have peed at Brandon's house before you got in the car and started driving? Why all these times you got to pull over? Right? When y'all pulled over to kidnap the child at first. Now it sounds like y'all pulled over to dispose of something the second time.
Was doing that, but
Did she do that right by the vehicle? Did she go in the woods and use the bathroom? Do you remember?
no, no, it was literally on the side of the road.
Oh, so she just squats and pees right there where y'all are at.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I've seen that done. I know how ladies are. Seems
Yeah,
crazy. Some crazy.
They gotta go. They gotta go.
Yeah, true that. Okay, so at that point, you get the vehicle, you get it back strapped down. Do you remember what highway you're on at this point that you pulled off? Is it right near where the landfill or any of that
I think
stuff?
it's Highway 55.
Highway 55. Okay.
I think so.
So you get the vehicle fixed back up. You got it going. Did you stop once you did it to check on it again, or did you just keep moving forward with it?
No, I just kept moving forward. I knew I tied it good enough.
Okay, so at this point, from this point, you're driving straight back to your house. You're going back down the highway. You're getting back to where you live, correct?
Correct.
He's making this shit
so
up.
you go back in onto 8th Street. For people that are watching, 8th Street's the only way in, the only way out. And what time do you think you enter 8th Street coming back with the tow?
What time do you think we got back?
Yeah, with the tow from Brandon's house after he washed the clothes and you hooked up the video.
No, it was probably 9:15, 9:30 at night.
9:30 at night. Okay. Mm-hmm. And y'all say so at 9:30 at night, when you enter 8th Street, what do you see? Do you see anything unusual? Is there people in the neighborhood?
When we got back, there was a shit ton of people all over, just walking around. Or what were the people doing? What did you observe? Police officers, search and rescue, just neighbors, people from the communities. I told Sarah to stop and ask what happened, and because Brandon was steering the vehicle behind us.
So he was actually in the vehicle you were towing?
Yes, because he had to steer it.
Oh wow. Okay. I didn't know you was towing it like that. You were literally towing it with a strap.
100%. Yeah, there was no trailer or anything.
Oh, okay. For this whole time, I'm thinking you got a trailer and you got it lifted up on a trailer and you got it strapped in.
No.
You're towing this vehicle with a strap and he's driving the vehicle behind you. Okay.
Yeah.
I completely understand now. Okay, so you're coming in like a convoy with a car strapped to you.
Yeah. Hey, quick question for you. What's the somebody wants to join the live and watch it, where do they go?
They can go to Dolly Vision, okay, on YouTube.
Okay.
You just type in Dolly Vision, like the singer. There's two greats. Well, there's one great and there's one that ain't. I'm the one that ain't. I'm not Dolly Parton. I'm Dolly the idiot. Okay, so all they do is put in Dolly Vision and it should pull up my channel and they can click on it and watch.
I'm a lot smarter than this guy, though.
Thank you. And I got to make a correction. It was Highway 52.
Highway 52 that you had pulled off to strap the car back in. So when you get into the neighborhood, you start seeing fire, search and rescue, things of this nature, people walking around the neighborhood. And you tell Sarah to pull over and ask somebody what's going on. All right, what when she pulled up to somebody, what did they say?
They asked them what was going on, and they were like, "Oh, well, a little boy has disappeared."
Send it to me, Deanna.
A little boy has disappeared. Did they say disappeared or did they say abducted? Do you remember? Can you recall?
So I know I made that mistake in the last video. I'm 99% positive it was disappeared. The abducted came later on when.
Yeah. Well, I understand it's been a great amount of time that's passed.
He's trying to say it because in his previous interview, he said the police said that there was a little boy abducted. But how at that time would they know the little boy was kidnapped? Right? He shouldn't have knew there was a kidnapping on day one, and he did. Right? How did he know that? Right? That the kid had been abducted. The little boy was just reported missing. They didn't report it as a kidnapping, Okay. So at this point, we just have a missing kid. And I heard him say that. That's why I asked him, I was trying to get him to say it again. And then he called it. And he was like, oh, in the last interview, I said that. But the police actually said the child was missing. So he's trying to backtrack and catch his story. But, once you say it, ain't no putting no words back in your mouth.
Everybody's memory is not 100% perfect ever.
Mhm.
So if, they did say something, the point is somebody came up to the vehicle and let you know that there was a disappearance or abduction of a child in the neighborhood. Okay. And then when you pull off from there, what is said in the vehicle? Like, was Sarah like, oh my God, I can't believe a kid is missing?
We're just like, that's crazy.
Uh-huh.
And we like never even heard of such a thing happening in that neighborhood.
Now,
Yeah.
since this has happened, you know what Michael Vaughn looks like, right? Had you ever seen Michael Vaughn in that neighborhood before?
Not a day in my life. Never even heard the name, never heard of the family, never even knew he existed.
That's not true.
Okay. How long exactly did you live in that neighborhood? Can I ask you that?
June of 2020 till I got arrested. Till she got arrested.
Okay. Now, you get back, you're coming back, y'all are like, okay, this kid's been, either vanished or he's been abducted, and you go back to the house, your house, correct? When you get to the house, what goes on then?
Sarah and Brandon took off to go help look for him, and I stayed home because at that time I had pulled around the long way of our road. The other, so you could take a left on Mallard Street, which is where Sarah's parents live, the street that they live on, and that road will lead you around to Red Wing Street. So I did it that way because I wasn't trying to block the road. So
yeah,
but I knew I needed to get
but yet Sarah was driving
and mounted from the truck because I was taking up the length of the street.
Yeah, you're not far from where you were at. You're not far from the bend in the road either, are you?
No, not at all.
Okay, I understand exactly where you're at.
Because I've been to his house.
Okay, so you go back to the house. The truck is big with the two cars hooked, so you've got to figure, hey, you're taking up everything. You want to disconnect those to clear up some space on the road.
Correct.
So at this point, how long do you think Brandon and Sarah went in the house before they decided to go, okay, well, let's go look for Michael?
They never went to the house. They never went in the house. They went straight walking to go look for him.
So they never went. So you sat there disconnected in the trailer. They left, went walking, looking for Monkey.
Correct.
How long do you think they were gone out looking for Michael?
He makes me
hour and a half.
About an hour and a half.
It's all this he does.
Okay, so they come back. You're there. What are they talking about at this point? And at this point, y'all haven't seen Adrian since the beginning of this day, right? Since he left early that morning. There had been no more contact with the Adrian guy.
You're gonna have to hold on a second. I'm waiting on the Amber Alert.
Oh, okay.
There's an Amber Alert that just went out, so you know.
Okay, do you want to read it out to us since you're here?
I don't even know how to pull it up.
Oh.
I'm thinking
I
about
could have read it, but it was making that loud buzzing sound. So
yeah. Okay, so at this point, they've been gone for about an hour and a half, right? And they come back home. And what is their demeanor when they come back? Do they talk to you about them searching or what's going on? Do you ask them any questions about what's going on?
What do you mean, Brandon and Sarah?
Yeah, like when they come back, like you'd be like, did you find them? You know, like if you was out searching for something.
Yeah,
like
just general questions. Yeah, absolutely. You know, ask if they saw anything.
And can you recall what they had said to you? Or anything close, maybe, that you can remember from it?
Pretty sure they just said that they didn't. No, nobody's found anything.
That nobody found them. Now, at this point, had like I don't want to jump too far ahead. So at this point, the search continues in the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
All right. At some point in that search, there is a flyer that appears on your refrigerator in your house of Michael. Okay. So now, did Sarah get really into looking for Monkey? Like, did she go out daily looking for him? Was she posting this picture on the internet? Was she doing any of these types of things? Did you seem it was overly done or anything, like all of a sudden she had this interest in this? Did she ever have interest in missing kids before?
Yeah, I mean, we cared for them. You know what I mean? Like, you know, we just didn't go look for other missing kids that have gone missing. There wasn't a whole lot of that going on. You know, like this is kind of unheard of for us here.
Yeah, for the area. Yeah, I agree with that. Don't seem like that would happen too much right in the area that you're in. Correct. So her behavior didn't seem unusual to you whatsoever during the disappearance while they were looking for Michael.
Okay, say that again. I'm sorry.
So her behavior did not seem odd whatsoever after Michael Monkey Bond went missing.
No.
Okay. Now, has she always been a highly religious person?
She claimed she was, yeah.
But I mean, before the time, would you think like things she were posting or things like that, she got overly at some point religious? I hate to say that because Christian people are gonna be like, how do you get over religious? But I mean, where you're just God this, Jesus this. Was she in that type of state of mentality?
After he went missing, yeah.
Okay, so but before that, she wasn't like gung ho, like Bible thumping. I hate to say that. I'm gonna get
just banging strangers off the internet. Was she Jesus this? Oh my God, this? You know what I'm saying? Like you go from some weirdos that's sleeping with homeless people to all of a sudden I'm praising the Lord. I just it just seems odd to me.
Beat up by Christian people later on, you know. But I mean, so her behavior changed just a little bit to a little more religious. Okay, that's understandable. Now at some point, did you have a falling out with these people? Because I don't want to get into too much, but there's people that's been, you know, I can't give out my sources, but there's people that have been saying things that kind of been pointing the finger at you. Is there a reason that like did you have a falling out with Brandon? Did you have a falling out with Adrian? And why would these people at any point try to think you have something to do with this or be indicating that you do?
Blows my mind.
So give me a little leeway of what happens after the Michael goes missing. Like what goes on with you and your wife at this point in Brandon? Do y'all just normal day, everyday life? And what falls apart that leads to where we're at now? That's the piece that I'm missing. If you could fill me in on.
What do you mean what falls apart?
Like at some point in what is it, 2022, you go to jail for possession of that firearm, and you got, of course, Brandon out here giving interviews on YouTube and saying things, you know, still people are saying things still allegedly, you know, that they had evidence that somebody had spoke to them. Now, I don't want to get too far ahead because I want to kind of know where did y'all did everything kind of go south when you went to jail for the gun? Would you consider, let me ask you this, would you consider yourself friends with Brandon and Adrian right now? Or has y'all okay, so your friendship at some point has ended.
That's what I've been trying to get to the whole time.
I thought I would have still had a
friendship
before I got out of jail, but when I started finding out they were talking all this shit on me, fuck them.
Okay.
Scandalous bastards, dude.
So when you went to jail, you were still friends with these people. Okay, so time you get out of jail, they've done, you know, said things to the police, and they've said things to multiple YouTubers. I know that for a fact. And they, okay. Now, at some point, a tip is called in to the Fruitland police. Okay. And people are telling me that this tip was called in to the Fruitland police by you. Is that true?
About the backyard, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now, I know this is going to seem a little strange, and I know this, what question I'm about to ask you is, why did you call this tip in about the backyard?
I didn't call it in. I was being interrogated.
No, he wasn't.
Pressured.
He volunteered that information.
Literally to the point of in tears. Like I told everybody, even the police and everything, I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I have had nothing to do with this. I don't even know who this little boy was, or I mean, I can't say is because we've all heard who he is, but
yeah. Okay.
Sorry.
They had never questioned you about the disappearance of Michael Monkey Vaughan until you went to jail on unrelated charges, correct?
Correct.
So you was already incarcerated. You're in the cell. What did detective send somebody to get you from the cell to speak with you?
Yeah, I mean, it was so
what originally, you know what originally tipped them off to you? Do you know that?
No.
Okay, but at some point you give them a tip. Well, we're going to get to that. But at this point you're arrested. They're calling you into question.
I think we did share his Cash App, but no. Now, after this, he wanted other people to pay him. Okay. Once he started, I guess, I don't know if anybody donated to his Cash App or whatever it was that he wanted. He was like, you can do it. He was like, could you share my Cash App? Because I'm in like a homeless shelter or whatever it was. And I told him I would share the Cash App. And we did share his Cash App. I don't know if anybody donated to his Cash App, but shortly after that, he wanted everybody to pay him for interviews. So, and he did, he made a run of interviews too. So I know he got paid for interviews. This interview, he did not get paid for unless people donated to him. Now, I don't know if people donated to him or not. So he may have gotten paid by doing this interview, but he didn't get paid by me for this interview.
You about the Michael Monkey Vaughan and just tell us how the interrogation goes. Cause I know you just jumped into that, but I want everybody to understand the timeline of this. So this is after you're arrested, you're on unrelated charges, detectives come and get you, and they say what to you?
No, this started out questioning me about, because this is when they transported me and Sarah in separate vehicles from Payette County to Meridian to the ISP, or Idaho State Police. And
I can't exactly remember how I gained his trust. I don't know if I donated to him or how I gained his trust. I can't quite remember. Right. It may have just been talking to him. I may have sent him a Cash App. I'm not quite sure how he agreed to do this. I know I didn't pay him for the interview, but I may have donated to him to send him my number. Like I do that a lot. Like I'll send somebody a Cash App and I'll send my number with it. And they usually call back because you give somebody some money. It's like feeding a cat. They're going to call back. Right. So usually when I do that, if I'm trying to get somebody on the show, I'll send them a Cash App because I think that's the quickest way to get a hold of them. And then I'll put like my phone number in the Cash App. And usually when I usually have PJ do that. So usually when I contact somebody, it's never me that contacts you. I don't really contact people for the show. I always have PJ do it. Just like I told PJ the other day, I want to get Ted Bundy's brother up here. Okay. So I said, look, we need to get a hold of Ted Bundy's brother. I want you to get a hold of him. So I don't know if she ever got a hold of him or not. I think we found his email, but I really want to have a conversation with Ted Bundy's brother. So, but usually I have PJ contact you first, and she gives you the information to contact me. It's usually how we do things here. So if you ever get an email like I want you on the show, it's never from me. It's always from PJ.
They started out questioning me of, was this the bin that you owned and you sold? And I said, yeah. And then he went directly into this missing boy and tried to say that I knew something about it and tried to pinpoint me. And I'm like, I don't know who the fuck you think you are, but I'm not that person. And then he started to pressure me more. I was like, fine. I said, let's do it this way. Let's do a polygraph test. And so he's like, you want to do a polygraph test? You're willing to submit to it? I said, absolutely. And so Sarah, Brandon, and I.
So they bring you in, you agree to it, you take the test. Okay, go ahead.
So Sarah, Brandon, and I all got a polygraph tests in 3 different.
Let me ask you this real quick. I hate to back you up. At this point, what is Sarah in jail for, and what do they have Brandon for? Why would they just bring them in?
Because we were named person of interest.
Okay. Was that from a tip line call?
Guys, we got 541 likes. Halloween night. Make sure you take a second and like this video. Okay. It's absolutely free. Won't cost you nothing. All right. I'm doing a deal this week. Free liking the video. I even came dressed like Freddy for you. Like the video, and then once you do, I want you to shout out where you're watching from. We're going to jump back into that interview. We're going to go into the interview with Sarah, because we also interviewed Sarah from jail. And I just want to make people aware of what these people said. And this goes out to Malaya Brooks and Daniel Martell. Just because you pass a lie detector test don't mean they won't charge you with murder. Okay, you see right here, Sarah took one, Stacey took one, Brandon took one, and you know what they got in common? They're all going to prison for murder. Remember that, Mr. Cocky ass dude over there in Canada? Just because you pass a lie detector test don't mean your ass ain't going to prison. All right. Thank you, Ohio. Thank you, Nova Scotia. Thank you, Australia. Thank you, everybody that's tuning in with us tonight. And Hendersonville, Tennessee, same thing with that. And Hendersonville with the Proudfoots. These lie detector tests don't mean shit. When it comes down to it, if you're a killer, you're a killer. There's no way to prove if somebody's lying. Jody from Virginia, Indiana, East Tennessee. I mean, like I said, Ted Bundy allegedly passed a lie detector test. Other serial killers have passed lie detector tests. I watched that show, Making of a Serial Killer, and there have been multiple people on that show pass lie detector tests that were serial killers. So if you're a habitual liar and you believe your own lies, and a lot of people do, you can easily pass a lie detector test. Or if you don't get your feathers ruffled easy, you can sit here just as calm as him and lie your ass off. And you see right now, this tub of lard here is being charged with the murder of Michael Monkey Vaughn, first-degree murder. Do you know?
No, this is what they told us. I don't know.
Okay. Is it possible that Adrian could have tipped them off to something? Maybe gave them a false tip?
I guess. I don't know.
Okay. So they start accusing you of having something to do with the disappearance of Michael Vaughan, and you tell them you'll take the lie detector test. At this point, they have Brandon, they have Sarah, and do all 3 of you take a test?
Yeah, and it wasn't a retinol test or a retina test. It was literally a lie detector, like your regular one.
Yeah, they hook up to you. They're checking your pulse rate, your heart rate, that type of stuff. Okay, and did you pass that lie detector test, or do you know?
I did. I was the only one out of the 3 people to pass that.
Now, why, if you're telling the truth about that night, okay, and they were with you that night, why would they fail the lie detector test and you pass it?
mind boggles me. Mind blows me. I don't know. I have
Okay.
no answers to that.
All right. So you take the test. You come back truthful, and then what transpires from there?
Okay, but here's the thing: how can the story be true if you just sit there and said they didn't have nothing to do with it, and you were with them the whole time, but yet they fell it and you pass it? How is that possible? If you're all were doing the same thing on the same night, how could you pass the lie detector test and they fell it? If you're all telling the same story. See what I mean? This dude is so full of shit. Norfolk, UK. I didn't even know there was a Norfolk, UK. But welcome, UK. Good to have you guys here with us tonight. I hope you're having a great night. But yeah, this dude is terrible, terrible, and I hope he rots. And Brand, I hope they, of course, they haven't served the warrants on Sarah yet, but that's the next thing that's coming is her. They're already written up for her, and of course, Brandon. Oh my God, dude, I'd be spilling the beans if I was you, because you've heard the saying, right? The first one to talk is the first one to walk. And I've told him so many times, like, man, you need to tell it because it's all going to come out anyway. And you're going to take the fall because these people are going to testify against you because you grabbed that kid, you went to your house. They're going to blame you. I'd be blaming them before they blame me. And you got to think, Brandon, I know you're going to watch this video because I'd be paying close attention myself. If this involved me and I was somebody that was with them, oh, you can believe I'm watching everything on the internet. I'm watching every news thing. I'm checking every newspaper because I want to know when you come to get me. And that's the same thing he's doing right now. I quoted you with that one earlier, Dolly. Okay.
And they did a couple more. That was in May that they questioned me. So they didn't come and question me again and interrogate me until November.
And
Saying that they had more information. They're saying that I knew more information, which I didn't. But that's when I tipped them off and gave them that false tip.
Okay,
because I was so overly pressured, and it sounds absolutely stupid, and I know it does, but I was way too under pressure. I was being interrogated for something I didn't do, and they kept telling me, "Oh, you know where he is. You know where you buried him." No, I don't. I said, but, and then I was like, fine.
Where's
then I
the
broke down. I
baby?
was like, you know what, fine. I made it up 100%, and I told him that he was in the backyard, which I knew he wasn't, because if he was, they would have found him.
Okay, so, tell me what you told the police in your tip, if you would. Like, what did you call in and say? What was exactly the tip?
I didn't call in.
I mean, what did you tell them that was the tip? What was your, like, hey, the baby's in the backyard?
He was buried in the backyard, correct.
But you gave no, like, segue into that? You just said the baby's in the backyard? They didn't ask you how the baby got in the backyard?
Eating.
They just said, okay, the baby's in the backyard, and they went and did all that stuff and dug up the backyard and things of that nature.
With all that chewing tobacco just in his mouth.
How good do you know your neighbors?
How good?
Yeah, like, do you know your neighbors? Are you friendly with your neighbors?
I talk to Carson at least once a week.
Okay, once a week. What about the neighbor on the other side of you? Who do you know the neighbor on the far side of you? Okay, so you know the neighbor Carlson. Did he ever work for you or anything of that nature?
I had him do some mechanic work for me, yeah.
Oh, okay. So he was like an auto mechanic?
He's also a sex offender.
Oh, okay. All right. So now you go to jail, you give them the false lead. Okay. Now, do you know what Sarah has been saying?
her information is according to, from what I've understood, is not accurate.
Okay, well, let me tell you, she was blaming you, saying that you killed the baby. Now, why would two people that had nothing to do with a crime, why would both of them confess to a crime they didn't commit? If they're telling the truth, right? He said she did it. And okay, we could say, well, he was pressured, so he did like he said. Let's just say he's telling the truth and he was pressured into saying that. What about her? Why did she say you did it? Right? And what evidence did they take from the house? Because they did take some evidence from the house. The police never released what that evidence was. But apparently some evidence was found in a crawl space area in the bathroom. What would make her do that? You know what I'm saying? Okay, here's one thing. Say you get me and PJ together and she confesses to a crime we didn't commit. I would never confess. Okay. I'd be like, oh, hell no, we didn't do that. I don't care what you say or how you got her to say that. I ain't have nothing to do with that shit. I ain't confessing to a crime I didn't commit. There ain't nobody on this planet that's going, I guess I can't say nobody. There has been people that have confessed to shit they didn't do. I'm not. Okay. I'm not.
The detectives came and interrogated me again in November. They played a bunch of video or voice clips from the detectives talking to like Sarah's foster mom and Sarah's parents, and all it was is, well, Sarah told us that he may have been part of the disappearance.
See, what I truly believe it was, let me blow myself up for this. I'll bring that back in just a second. They knew where Michael was buried. He might have been buried in that yard, or he's at that landfill that they broke down at. I'm not quite sure. But cadaver dogs did hit in their backyard. So at some point, it appears that Michael Monkey Vaughn may have been buried in that backyard. You wouldn't for your daughter, Dolly? Do what for my daughter? I wouldn't confess to a crime I didn't commit. I wouldn't. But what I'm saying is, I believe that this child was buried in the backyard. Brandon and Sarah were banging. They were a couple while he was in jail. And they knew he could talk and say that baby was in that backyard. So when he went to jail, I think he moved. They moved the child, and Stacey don't know where the child is. That's why I believe Brandy thinks that Brandon holds the answers to where Monkey is at this moment, because him and Sarah moved little Monkey. They dug the whole backyard up. I mean, everything. I mean, tons and tons of dirt. He's not in that backyard. So Brandon was there at the time. So that's why Brandy has been, on top of Brandon's shirt lift, is because, and even when she put out a plea to his mama, get your son to talk and all this, like, you ever heard that saying, F around and find out? Brandon, you about to F around and find out. You had every opportunity to turn on these people and testify against these people, and you didn't do it. And now I feel like that might be too late. And if you have any time left, it's a very little window. Very, very little window to talk. And once that window closes, your ass is gone and you're facing the death penalty, bro. Late to the story, but Sarah's not being brought up on charges right now. Or Susan B. Yes, she is going to be brought up on charges. She's just in jail. There ain't no rush to bring her up because she ain't in no threat of getting out. But yeah, they're going to serve her with charges. and then Brandon Shirtliff is next. How do you say that? Fast Dar? I don't want to. Fast Dar? Faster? Is that it? Faster? Thank you for your $4.99. Thank you for jumping on the Blessed Express. But yeah, they're coming for them too, right? They're not gonna just hit Stacey. They're gonna hit them all. And I mean, if I was in that situation, if I was Brandon out there watching like he is now, or he might not be watching this late at night, but he'll be watching a replay of this, I would make a little call to the Fruitland police, and I would set up an appointment to sit in there and talk to their detectives. I would start talking. I mean, I'd go full Tekashi 6ix9ine. And you don't know who Tekashi 6ix9ine is. He turned on all his friends. He's walking around right now. He was facing like 100 years in prison from everything from murder to racketeering. And he's a free man right now making rap songs on YouTube. First one to talk, first one to walk. You better start speaking, man. You better start speaking.
Well, there was nothing. There's nothing concrete.
Yeah, so she went to somebody just spreading rumors, false rumors, and they reported it to the police. And them rumors included you.
Hey, buddy.
So now, let me ask you this. This question is, now, when you was hanging out with the Adrian guy, how did you meet him?
It was a taxi customer that Sarah called me about.
Okay, so now, not to get too personal either, was Sarah sleeping with this man?
Yep.
Okay. So she was sleeping with him. Was you okay with the relationship with Adrian and Sarah?
I didn't know they were.
Oh, so that was, you found out that after the fact. Okay.
Yep.
So she was just getting her freak on with a little bit of everybody? Okay. See, you give them an inch, they'll take a mile, Stacey. Yeah, give them an inch. All right, let me ask you this. So you remember that Brandon was wearing shorts that day, and he was probably wearing maybe a t-shirt or something of that nature. So it was a night. It was a warm day. Okay. Now, have you ever known Brandon to be walking through that neighborhood? Did he walk around when he came over? Or did he just sit in the house? Do you ever go take a walk or?
Yeah, all the time.
Okay. So he would be known to walk around the neighborhood a little.
So we got Brandon walking around the neighborhood. We got Brandon in the shorts that were seen on CCTV. I'm trying to get him to say that Brandon has his shirt on, right? But I don't think I get that from him. But I do get that it's a warm day. He's walking around in shorts, that he walks around the neighborhood.
A bit things. What about Adrian when he came over? How was he? Did he just chill? Did he just roam the neighborhood or?
He would just chill.
Okay. Now,
most of the time.
How do you know Adrian is involved in the type of things that you detectives told you this when they were interrogating you, that you were hanging out with a bad guy?
Correct.
But at the time you didn't know he was a bad guy.
Not at all.
You just met him through whatever, like a ride share type thing. And now what made you start really like bringing him around? You know, like a
bring him around. Sarah wanted to help him out with a place to live. Because Adrian, I guess, gave her a sob story, and Sarah called me about it and asked how I felt about it. I told her, I was like, I don't think it's a good idea. I said, we don't even know who this guy is, and I'm not okay with it. But she did it anyways.
Well, she did it anyway. She just okay. So at this point, you got basically Brandon living with you. Okay, you got Adrian living with you. Did you
think about this? Let's just say tomorrow that PJ went out and some homeless dude was on the corner, and she's like, "Look, I'm gonna bring you home to stay with us." Right? As soon as I seen you, I'd be like, "Look, dude, I'm gonna tell you now, get your shit, get out of my house. I'll give you a ride to a homeless shelter, but you would definitely not staying at my house. I don't know you. You know what I'm saying? That ain't happening. Normal people don't bring on homeless people. Now listen, I understand about helping people out in this world. There's nothing wrong with helping people. Okay. I would help you in a way of trying to find you somewhere to go. I might stop and buy you a tent at Walmart, right? But you a grown ass man with 2 good legs and 2 arms, you definitely ain't coming to stay with me. Now, if you was a woman with a kid, I'd be like, okay, let's find her somewhere and possibly. And I probably wouldn't even do that, to be honest. Okay. But another man in my house, oh, hell no. You're not scratching your balls on my couch. That ain't happening. That just ain't happening. For any man to allow this type of shit to go on, like, you ain't much of a man. I like to help people, right? But there's a limit that I put on that helping people. All right. I'll pick you up off the ground, but I ain't carrying you to my house. It just ain't, and damn sure ain't letting you bang my old lady. That just ain't happening. And this dude, I don't know. They had a whole freak fed. They had a whole Jerry Springer show, and like all the way around. Like, I don't even know what to say.
Did you ever have any other roommates prior to that? Like right before
There
that?
was another one.
Oh, we let people stay, occasionally, but not roommates, no.
Okay. Who was the last person to stay with you before Brandon and Adrian?
I
Do
don't
you remember? You don't remember? Okay, I know that's a good while ago. And like I said, I noticed the detectives told you that this man was into these types of things. Did they tell you anything else that may, lead us in the right direction?
They informed me that Dorothy was incarcerated as sex offenders, but
Okay, so after you do the tip, you call them in, they dig up the backyard, they do all this, and they don't find Monkey. What did they come back and say to you?
they haven't talked to me since.
They haven't talked to you since. So at some point, they had to come to the conclusion they knew you were lying. Have you ever worried that could come back to bite you in the butt a little bit?
Yep. If it does, it does. I replay.
Well, it did. It totally did. Like, I knew he was getting. It didn't just bite you; it bit you with 1st-degree murder and 2nd-degree kidnapping. It didn't just bite you; that shit chewed you up. You can't stop thinking about Jabba. D. Douglas, thank you for jumping on the Blessed Express and keeping Dolly alive. All the help I go to when I go out there, because I'm going to be out there in Fruitland for a while. It looks like this is going to be one of those kind of long things. So I'm going to be back and forth to Fruitland a couple times. I can see that in my future, and I'm not no fortune teller. So thank you for the donation. He said, yeah, if it does, it does. I bet you he ain't saying that now while he's sitting in his cell crying. No bond. He thought he was walking. Your ass is going back to Fruitland, Idaho. Is where you going, fat boy. Do you think Michael Monkey's grave is around Brandon's mother's house? Faster. That's what I'm gonna call you. I don't know if I'm saying it right. I don't know. I truly don't. Right? If I knew, I'd be out there looking for him. If I had even a close thought of where he could be, I'd already be on a plane in Fruitland, Idaho, looking for him. Now, hopefully something comes out of this, and I pray to God it does. Right? Like, if he don't want to be charged with 1st-degree murder, give us the body, charge you with 2nd-degree, put you in prison forever, and let you live. Right? The most important thing is let Brandy at this point get some closure. And the only way she's going to get that closure is we bury that little boy. Okay. She'll never get it if that ain't the case. If he goes to prison, she won't get the closure that she needs. They need to bring him home and put him to rest where he belongs. And it's not over until that happens. That's how I feel about that one.
So, but
yeah. Let me ask you one major thing, and I don't. what do you think has happened in this situation? Like, if it, I know this is just hypothetical. What in your mind can you imagine transpired in your neighborhood that day?
What do you mean?
Like, what do you think happened? Like, do you think somebody kidnapped him? Did he fall into the river? Did
I don't have any response to that. I don't know.
You
I don't even want to speculate.
Yeah. Okay. And you never noticed nothing strange about any of the occurrences that were going on. Have you seen the pictures from of the guy walking on the sidewalk in front of the splash pad?
No.
You've never seen the picture of the man that was a suspect in the disappearance of Michael Vaughn that was walking on the splash pad?
No.
Okay. I don't have that right handy to pull up to show you. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick for you, Stacey. There was a man, and he was caught on CCTV, and he was wearing shorts, tennis shoes, and a white T-shirt the same day that Michael Monkey Vaughn went missing. My question is it possible this man could be Brandon walking through the neighborhood? Because this picture was shot earlier that day. It wasn't around the time that Michael went missing, but it was a gentleman walking through the neighborhood. And I'm just curious, is that gentleman possibly could be Brandon taking a walk? Not possible? Okay.
How come not?
Right, so
he, even in this thing right here,
any...
he's saying that Brandon walked through the neighborhood, that he would walk through the neighborhood, that Brandon wore shirts. But instantly before seeing the picture, he's like, no, it's not possible. It's him.
Anything else that I wanted to ask you to clear up real quick? Okay, so then when Brandon came back out of the house from washing clothes, did he bring the duffel bag back with him? Did he bring the wet clothes back with him that night? So the duffel bag that he took to his mother's house, he left at his mom's house, the clothes, and he just basically went in, changed, washed those clothes.
They didn't bring no clothes back with him.
Okay. Now, had you talked to your wife since you've been accused, since they accused you of these things? Not that you've done it, but since they accused you of it, have you had a chance to talk to Sarah at all?
She had called me a few times.
Yes, he had.
She called me the other night, actually, and I literally laid into her. I was like, "Oh, Olive, come on." I had told her pretty much that I was done with it, and I'm not going to give her any.
Kevin, the reason they dug, okay, just to answer your question real quick, you must have just got here with us. The reason they dug was they were interrogating him, and he said that Michael Monkey Vaughn was in the backyard. He basically confessed to knowing where the body of Michael Monkey Vaughn was. And he told him it was in the backyard underneath a grill. Cadaver dogs hit in that area. They dug up the whole backyard and didn't find Michael Monkey Vaughn. Then they interrogated his wife, and his wife confessed that he did it. So both of them said they did it. Not just one of them, both of them said they did it, that he did it. He's blaming it on them. They're blaming it on him. But both parties confessed to the death of Michael Monkey Vaughn. Now, if one of them confessed, I can say, okay, yeah, maybe it was under distress. But both of them, come on now. So they told on each other. Just to answer your question.
Not even, I mean, I contemplated maybe trying to, figure things out, but.
How long had you been? I know you must have been with her. Have you been with her for a long time before this?
And I mean, Dolly is one of the greatest armchair detectives, sleuths on the internet. Okay. Just the greatest, and this was easy for me to see that this man is guilty. I've been waiting for the arrest so patiently And it's just so, I'm just so glad that it's here and that this boy's going to get justice, and maybe this will lead to the closure that we need.
This transpired. How long have y'all been together? I don't know. That might seem like
It'll be 6 years. 6 years in April.
Oh, okay. So yeah, y'all been. That's almost like being married in a lot of states. So y'all are pretty.
Oh, we are married.
Y'all are married. That's right. 6 years. Oh, that's right. Her last name is Wondra. That's right. Okay. So you have spoke with her. Has she spoken to you saying, "Hey, I can't believe they're accusing me of this"?
Oh yeah, all the time.
And what does she say? That she has nothing to do with it? Fill me in a little bit on.
Then why would she tell on you? Why would she say you done it? Right? Mixed signals here, getting mixed signals.
Typical stories, yeah.
She said,
I just can't believe it. I'm so appalled, and I just don't even care to really talk to her. Like I just and she won't ever go into specifics. She's too smart for that. She's not dumb.
Now, somebody asked in the chat if it was to come out that one of your friends had something to do with this, would you testify against that person to what information you had that day?
What do you mean?
Like, that's what's the question. I didn't ask. I would have to, the question was in the chat was, if one of your friends ended up being responsible for this, like say it's Brandon did something bad or Adrian that did something bad, would you be willing to testify against them, your friends? Which you say ain't your friends right now, because apparently they...
Hell no. They aren't even, I wouldn't look at them as a friend, but in order to testify, you have to have firsthand knowledge, and I don't. So I can't testify. I'm not going to testify and lie, you know what I mean, on shit that I don't know. So no, I won't.
I mean, but you would testify to the timeline that you gave, right?
Well, absolutely.
Yeah, that's basically what we're saying. Just the timeline of the same story you're telling us. You can't tell something you don't know. Of course, exactly. How you gonna be like, yeah, I would. You can only tell what information you know, and you're openly been sharing information with us, and I think that is great because these dudes are hiding and they're putting out information and they're kind of pointing the finger at you. But at least you're opening up to come up here, open up for questions, tell what happened that day, and you're not hiding from it. And I think that shows a lot. Okay, a lot.
Shows you're going to prison.
Is there anything else you want to say to the viewers? That you didn't do this, that this is all just a misunderstanding by the police or anything of that nature? Is there anything you want to leave the viewers with tonight?
I just want to thank you all for, coming on the live, and, I want to give a huge shout out to my friend Eve, who's also been a really good support to me, and, I've been a really good person that's been helping me go through my troubles, and, a huge shout out to you, Dolly Vision here, and, just want to say, you guys are doing amazing. You guys keep doing what you're doing, and
we're gonna make sure you go to prison.
Justice gets found for Michael.
One last thing before I let you go, like during this whole process, there was a point that y'all did take a trip together, you and your wife, maybe to Texas or something of that nature.
Yep.
Okay. What reason did y'all go to Texas? Just curious.
To go literally pick up a dog for Amy Church, who is a resident of Idaho.
Oh, okay. So y'all did that as a job, like a odd job.
We got paid for it. We got paid $1,400
to drive to Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, to pick up a dog. Yeah. Hey, that ain't bad. So y'all just drove down there, grabbed a dog, came back. How long was y'all gone to Texas?
I think probably 5 days. It takes like 3 getting down there.
Yeah, I've only been to Texas one time. I've only been there once. It looked big. It's big and scary to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
I ain't used to big ass places that many people. I was in the airport and I think Houston or something, and just like my anxiety kicked in. Does Sarah, does she suffer from any kind of anxiety, anything of that nature?
She had to have. I knew something was off with her when I married her.
Right back into the combat.
I didn't know she was that far off. Holy
shit. Let me ask you this, not to keep backtracking. The stabbing herself with the pins in between the finger things.
That was all pen ink. That was all.
Yeah, I caught that much. Does she have a lot of nervous twitches like that?
No.
Because I would consider that a nervous twitch of somebody
Yeah,
that.
no, she does that when she gets anxiety a lot.
Uh-huh.
Or gets under stress. But
Do both of y'all suffer from anxiety or just her?
I did struggle with anxiety. I suffer from it sometimes, but I have all my shit under control. You know, I did.
Yeah.
I was in group homes from 11 to 23, and every bit of me is 100% like I know how to handle my shit. You know what I mean? Like I learned to.
Now, my question would be, has he ever been abused? You hear he was in a group home from 11 to 23, because I believe the motive to take Michael Monkey Vaughn was to SA him. I truly believe that. And sometimes when people are abused, they sometimes become the abuser. Not all the time. Some people break that vicious cycle. But I wonder at some point, was he ever abused as a child?
Cope different ways more so than other people would know how to do.
Uh-huh.
So I don't get the same anxiety that she does. It's yeah, I handle my things way differently than she handles hers.
Okay, so today, Stacey, you're telling us you're 100% without a doubt have nothing to do with the disappearance of Michael Monkey Vaughn.
1,000,000%, not even 100%.
And you would testify to the timeline you gave to where your friends were at that day.
Absolutely.
Okay. If you could say something to the family, what would you say to the family?
I would say that I want justice for him.
He's going to get
him
it.
to be I want him to be found, and my prayers go out to that family and the loved ones around him, and just want justice for him. I want this come to end. He needs to be home. He deserves to be reunited with his family.
Okay, one more thing. Now there are
what
they're saying some indictments that may come down the line. Are you worried that with what these people are out here saying, spreading on the internet, and I'm going to let you know they're spreading some things on the internet, that they may involve you in this indictment that is about to come down the pipe?
If they do, they do. And all I can say is when I fight it and I take it to the box and I win at trial, they're looking at a gigantic multi-million-dollar lawsuit. And I already have lawyers lined up ready to take the case when it happens. So,
okay. All right. Because that's what, that was reported on the news agency that I had not knew that you did on News 7 when I watched your interview on News 7. And so I was just wondering if you was aware of that going into the situation.
Talk about charges being filed.
Yeah.
Yeah. They've been saying that. How long has this case been going on?
It's been going on.
2021.
Yeah. So when they let you out of jail, so you were in there unrelated charges, right? Your time, what did your time come up and they just released you? They never questioned you after the bad tip.
Haven't even been talked. Nope.
Okay. All right. Well, Stacey, look, I want to thank you for taking your busy schedule to come up here and talk with us and clear your name up and clear some of these rumors up and things that are going on the internet. And we're going to have to see how it plays out. I know it's nerve-wracking and everything, but I appreciate your time and thank you for coming up here.
Not a problem.
Okay. So there you have that, right? So, like I said, we were also able to talk to Sarah in jail. So PJ interviewed Sarah. Now, of course, there was a few questions that I fed to PJ, but PJ had to be a little more. She's not quite as direct with the firing off questions like boom, 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 boom. Like I wasn't letting them get away. right? I wasn't letting him get away. Every time he tried to, act like he wanted to scoot, oh, one more question, one more, and I'd walk him into something. We'll keep walking, keep just giving him a little bit of leash to keep him, just keep him talking. Like, I bet you he was thinking, damn, I ain't never getting out here. This dude has a million questions, right? And that's because we all have a million questions. We've all had a million questions about what happened to this child. And give me a second. I'm going to pull up the Sarah interview for you guys.
Hey, everybody.
Pause.
Tony Robbins here with my dear friend Dean Graziosi. Listen, I want to call your attention to an earth-shattering change that's happening in our society that
I'm towing a car.
All right, here we go.
I didn't know what I was doing, so I needed Stacey to tell me what to do, right? What to do.
It's just the audio.
How to turn it.
Can y'all hear it?
The one that knows how to tow things.
Well, how come you wanted to learn how to tow? That's a manly thing to do. I wouldn't even, wow. And I drove an ambulance at one point.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Oh, you just wanted, I said, how come you wanted to learn how to tow the car?
Oh, because I never had towed a car before.
Is that like a service you guys were offering to people?
Well, we were thinking about possibly opening up to be that when we got a truck, but, because the truck we had, I wasn't really sure about towing things in it. But we did tow it, and we got the strap broke on it when we were towing it, and we had to get a chain. But
you hear that? They had to get a chain. So he never mentioned the chain, right? He just mentioned the strap broke. They both mentioned the strap broke, but she said they got a chain. He said they double knotted the strap. So, I mean, just little inconsistencies.
Yeah. So you basically just came back home and seen the neighborhood all crazy and just got blamed for it and had no idea. That's crazy.
Well, here's the thing. They said that we were leaving around the same time that it might have happened. So, according to, people, in the neighborhood, we even live in an HOA. So there's, uppity people there.
What time did you guys leave?
We left around 6:30, and then we didn't get back till probably around 11.
Okay, you notice their times are different. He said they left around 4:30. Then he said 6, right? 5, because Michael was reported missing at 6:20. So he said they left at a different time than she did. He said they came back at a different time than she did. Which one is it, right? Their stories are not lining up. I mean, there's inconsistencies.
Between 10 and 11, I would think, and it was late because it was dark outside, and that's why I was like, why is everybody out in the neighborhood? They had big, giant strobe lights shining everywhere.
So you're saying you guys didn't even get back until after 11, and then, so why did, Stacey said you and Brandon went on foot to go look for Michael.
When we got back, we didn't go on foot to look for him. He probably didn't realize we took the car. But we went to go get some.
Okay, listen to that. They took the car. We just listened to him say he was driving the car. Or unless they took a different vehicle. He didn't realize we took the car. Okay, they did have multiple vehicles. So she could be possibly talking about another vehicle. But he didn't say she took a car. Right? He said they walked off, never went in the house. I think you would notice if they took a vehicle. Just saying.
Drinks from the gas station and to help look because all those people were in the neighborhood. So we went to try to drive around to see if we saw anything suspicious. We didn't go down very long. We probably were only gone maybe 10 minutes because we just really.
Okay, remember he said a different time. They were gone for an hour. So just another thing that don't line up in their two statements.
All these people were there, so it's it don't necessarily mean my eyes, but yeah.
Well, so you guys left at 6:30 to go get Brandon's car for him. Did you go into Brandon's house? Because Stacey's been around telling the story so many times. It's hard to put together like why they would think that you were guilty. And Brandon supposedly wasn't supposed to even be at his mom's.
No, because his mom was out of town, so he had to ask her, because they have a security system to where if he called her, she could open up any lock on her door from her phone. But so he had her open the garage, but he didn't want his mom to know that we were there to take the car, because it was his car, but it was his car that he was buying from his mom.
So now it's not even his car.
Okay, that makes sense. So you guys just kind of snuck into the side door, or like his mom?
No, me and Stacey, we waited outside in the truck while we waited for him to get everything situated.
Oh, that's funny, because Stacey was saying how you had to pee all the time and that you had to go inside to pee.
Why does Grandma's tummy look pregnant?
32 years as a literal poop surgeon, and people still don't believe.
All right, that was commercial.
No, I didn't go inside to pee. That's weird. No, I went. I don't think I did. Maybe I did. I don't know.
Maybe she did.
I don't know. It's been a long time, but that sometimes those little details like that just slip me. But,
yeah, no, I know. I mean, I can imagine, and I don't know. It's like it's hard to comprehend how that happens, and then all of a sudden you're being blamed for something so terrible, and all you guys were doing were going to help Brandon get his car. Do you still talk to Brandon?
No, not personally. The reason why I don't talk to Brandon anymore is because he wanted me to leave Stacey and be with him, and I didn't feel right about it. So I told him that we couldn't see each other anymore because it's not, I don't know, I can't be around Brandon and not want to be with him.
Yeah.
Because he had picked up so much stuff for me that my husband was not doing for me. And so I quit seeing Brandon because I didn't want to add anything more to the chaos, to be honest. It's so chaotic.
What do you think he was doing that her husband won't doing? That's a little crazy. All right, I don't want to get too graphic.
Well, how come Stacey said that Brandon had brought his clothes